Well, hey everybody. How's it going? I thought I'd do a review on a camera I've had for a little bit, and I hadn't really done a review because there's been 1,000. You got the guy that is like, hi man, this is a really good camera. I ain't no two ways about it. You see all these buttons and everything, that's an awesome camera. I ain't no two ways about it, that's just the way it is. You got, I like this camera, it's a SONY RX100 M4. Very nice camera. Not so good audio, but camera is very nice. Then you got it's a wonderful array of buttons back here. I just love the way they're all arranged, and you can assign them functions, and you can do neat little, it's just a wonderfully delicious little camera with the flip up. You can do, how cute is that with a selfie? Then you got like the king of them all. I don't even know if he did the review, but what's up everybody? Hey, guess what? Today we're gonna look at this Sony, it's not a Canon, and then we're gonna have some coffee, you know, because that's what we do. We're gonna put like 2 minutes, make it 25, and let's do this thing. I don't know what this is, but I like it. Whoa, there have been any number, sorry about that, Peter. There have been any number of reviews on this thing. All of the features and all of the limitations have been well documented. You only get just a couple of seconds of high priority, high frame rate footage. I want to talk about what I do with that. The limitation of 2 to 4 seconds, depending on what you're gonna do. What I like about that is that it frames your mind into creating a shot a little bit differently than you would normal. Because it only does about 4 seconds of standard quality, and the highest quality does like 2 seconds of slow-mo, but at 960 frames a second, that ends up being, I don't know, what is that, almost a minute and a half of footage. It's amazing what you get out of that little bit. So because it's such a short snippet that you need to be able to get out of whatever scenario you're going to film, it's caused me to look at those transitions differently. I'm looking for the end of the shot instead of looking for let's start here and go. You get yourself into your setup, prepare and pan as you do, and then hit record, and it will record everything you just went over. It's neat to do it that way, plan for the end shot. Definitely causes you to think, I don't know, maybe a little right brain, left brain, right brain, left brain, opposite of the way I've always shot. So I like what it does in that sense. So we're gonna look at what I did with 120 frames a second. I'm gonna take some 960. I think I've even got some 480, and I may have put some 240 on here just while I took a trip up to Stanley, Idaho, just to kind of do some things on the road, practice a little bit more with some of the high-speed stuff. For whatever reason, I really like the panning shot of that high-speed frame rate stuff. It's a really cool look. In a shot that's that slow, it brings so much life into it by swinging it across a little bit to an endpoint. It's a neat rig, man. So let's take a look at this footage that I got going up to Stanley, see what it looks like. Have any questions, put them down below. You know, we'll answer those questions. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe over there. Made it to Stanley. I'll grab something to eat. We'll start from here tomorrow, and we'll go up to a little lake that I haven't been to in a couple of decades, I think. Too bad the smoke here is so intense. I've been here when these mountains right here, when those mountains are standing out and they look like they're just on the other side of that little hill, but not this time. So, still beautiful. Stanley, Idaho. Let's get something to eat. This It's nice to put a trowel lake. Also, a site of the Kirkham fire, a number of firefighters, whether it was 11 or 13 or something like that. I think this is the fire that they got under an emergency blanket and were lost. Idaho has great forests. It has a lot of fire. I think Idaho has the most wilderness acres of any state in the lower 48. Google that. Because of Idaho having that kind of expanse to it, takes a lot of groundwork to keep it from burning down with this many people living in it. Kirkham Hot Springs. I said, lots of areas that have been burnt extensively. There is some work to try to bring back the forest and plant, get this stuff out of here, because this is just more fuel. An ominous look to it, to say the least. So, that's the burn section. Elk and deer will come in here like crazy, you know, once you get the grasses growing like that. And it'll start to recover. But trees, not for a long time. These trees here you're seeing, they weren't the oldest trees. There's some fairly old trees in here, but this wasn't an old growth forest. You see all this small growth. This stuff burns ever so often, and I don't think it gets a chance over the course of a millennium to really develop old growth stuff. 100 years old, yeah, something like that. Some trees in here that are that old, maybe. But generally, I think this is a kind of a regenerated forest before this burn occurred. So, hard to tell, it's my guess. But anyway, I'm back down the road. McKinnon gets this thing going. I'm doing this thing right. Thanks for watching.